Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. I believe people are networking in the background, so we shall start in 3 minutes. But we're already live, so we have started and should start the discussion in 3 minutes.
Can anybody hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hi, Tolu.
Oh, good evening, Ma. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. How are you too?
I'm very well, thank you.
Yeah. We are live and then we start in 1 minute. I'm counting down. 50 seconds.
It's all right.
So I added you all to the stage. So each person gets to present when it's their turn. So,
It's all right.
yes, it's time. It's that time of the year again where we get to have our dream dear do. I received a lot of responses from the previous one, the virtual events we had. And I'm glad it's meaningful and I'm glad it's something that every one of us look forward to. I'm glad we learned from it. I'm glad we have questions and then we sent our questions. And here we have the next edition of Dream Dear Do. Dream Dear Do. Whose job is it? Whose job is it to dream? Whose job is it to dare? Whose job is it to do? Today, we have three amazing, awesome, wonderful, learned speakers who are going to share with us how to dream, dare, and do. They're going to tell us whose job is it actually to dream, dare, and do. There's been like a background controversy. There have been like conversations I've had with some people, and conversations have overheard where people are like, okay, well, it's not my dream, it's somebody else's dream, so why should I work on it? It's not my responsibility to do something, it's somebody else's responsibility, and so on. So today we are going to clarify. Today we are going to get it straight on whose job is it to dream, dare, and do. So we're going to start with Kolawole Olamide. He's going to introduce himself and then go into details on Whose job is it to dream? Hi, Kolawole.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
I'm trying to share my screen. Oh,
Okay.
coming, share screen. Uh, Windows. Yeah, I think this is better. Yes. Can you see my screen? I think yes. So, coming. So, greetings to all listener wherever you are around the world. My name is Kolawole Olamide. I am a graduate in the Department of Mathematics at Michigan State University. My research focuses on modeling and simulations. Firstly, I would like to say a big thank you to the organizer of this wonderful event for giving me the opportunity to be one of the speakers in this event. I'll be talking about dreams, a fascinating topic. When I say dream, I'm not talking about nightmares. I mean the mother of all innovations we have in the world, the model of all development we have in the world. So I'll be talking about dreams. Whose job is it to dreams? What are the things that kill dreams? And so on. So on this first slide that I shared with you, you can see a man who is thinking about how he can own everything in the world. He's thinking about getting a car, getting money, getting lots of things. That is a dream. So I'll start by diving into the definition of dreams. In this life, we all want to be something in life. In fact, there is a saying that whoever wants to be something in life needs to think about being something in life. So dreams are the compass of our souls. They give us direction, purpose, and they are the reason why we wake up every morning. In fact, without dreams, ambition has no destination. That is, without us thinking about, oh, I want to be like this, I want to be. It's just like someone who wants to build a house without the blueprint, without the plans. So that is how important dreams are in our life. So we move into the types of dreams. These are just wishes, they are stronger than wishes, they are what we want to be in life. Could be a personal dreams. You want to have a car, you want to have, you want to life, you want to have everything in this life. It could be a professional dream, a career achievement. I want to work with Google. In years to come, I want to be the I want to create my own AI. I want to create a company that work like Google. All these are dreams, which is not too big because to me, I believe no dreams is too big. It just depends on the individual. So the next slide here, whose job is it to dream? The thing is, only oneself can dream for himself. Nobody can dream for you. You know what you like, you know what you would like to be, and you know what you want in this life. So you are the architect of your own dreams. You are the one that will plan your own path. And all this depends on your ambitions, what you want, what you would like to do, what you want to be. Think of any innovations that we have in the world. They started with a small thinking, someone feeling like, oh, and I would like to do this. How do I do this? That is how it started. So, likewise, support from peers also influences dreams. But the core truth is that it is your job to dream about what you would like to become in the future. So, how do we turn dreams into reality? How do we make dreams to reality? Because not all dreams are they actually come to be. In the next few slides, I will show you a picture of something and I would like to talk more about it. So, the first very thing you do is to clarify. You write down what you feel like, oh, I want to do this. Then the next thing is to plan, to have a good plan. Likewise, you need to remember that you see something before you said you want to be like this, or you want to have this, or you would like to get this. Remember that what that worked for Mr. A may not actually work for Mr. B. So you plan, you need to clarify that this thing that I want, I can actually, and mind you, make sure you do the right thing to get it. Don't do the thing to get it. Then the next thing is to act. When you have a plan, you need to act on the plan by taking a step each day. After that, you need to adjust yourself to the opportunities because nothing comes easy. You will definitely face challenges from colleagues, environment, even you yourself, because at times you feel like, should I continue doing this? So you need to adjust yourself to challenges. And likewise, you have to persist. These are dream killers. These are the list of things that make people to feel like, oh, I dream about inventing the next AI. I don't think I can do it again. I tried to do something yesterday. I was not able to do it. The fear of failure. Nothing come easy, just like I said. All the innovations, all the technology we have around the world, none of them comes easy. We get them after a series of failure by the inventor. So don't fear failure. In fact, be, let it motivate you to do more and to improve on whatever you are doing. Constant, constant comparison make people to feel like, oh, am I doing the right thing? Am I up to the task? Am I good enough? Don't ever compare yourself with anyone. You are different from every other person that you see. There is something distinct, better that you have than the person you are looking at. So never compare yourself with anybody. And likewise, procrastination. Try to do what you are meant to do at the right time. Don't wait till the last moment or I'll do this tomorrow. No. The better, the faster you do things, the more you see that, oh, I can even improve better than I thought I could do. And avoid negative influences from friends, people. Not everyone want you to be successful in life. So some people, their influence is negative in your life. So you have to move with people with ideas, people that you know that, oh, this particular person is trying to do something very close to what I plan. So you can learn from somebody like that. If you move with people with negative influence, you may not be able to achieve your goal. So remember, every extraordinary success began with someone who simply refused to give up. So never give up. Stories of dreamers, you've heard a lot about Elon Musk, who started coding at the age of 12. He dreamed about doing everything he's doing today, from producing electric cars to traveling to space, rockets, and many other people like that, like Oprah Winfrey, from poverty to global media influence. So don't give up. Don't give up. The stories of Thomas Edison, the man who think about how to light, how to produce electricity, how to light the world. After several failure, he failed. According to the story, he failed more than 1,000 times. What we used to know is that he failed 1,000 times, but he didn't give up. What kept him going? The reason why he did not give up is because he believed in his dream of lighting up the world, which he eventually did. Now, look at this picture I showed. I told you earlier that there is a picture that I would like to share with you. When you see this picture, you feel like this is a cemetery and it is said to be the richest place on earth. How? Do we have golds? Do we have money here? Actually, what we have here is more valuable than golds. And what we have here are unrealized dreams, rare informations that can change the world. So this place is regarded as the richest place in the world on earth because of dreams that were never pursued, ideas that were never shared with anyone, informations that could change the world. So don't give up. When you have an idea, try to work towards it. Time waits for no man. So your turn. What you need to do is to ask yourself, you think about doing something, you think about changing something. Ask yourself, is that what you truly want in life? Is it in line with what you have, the resources you have available? Actually, we have stories of people who break the grants, they break all limitations to get what they want. So visualize your dream every day and take a deliberate step each day. No dream is too big. You just have to plan towards it. Plan towards it, work towards it, and do something every day. And pray, be prayerful, because you have to put God first in anything you do. So I would say, dream boldly, begin simply, and act immediately. Don't wait for anyone. So I'll close this presentation by by stating this quote, which says that the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dream. So believe in whatever dreams you have, and may God bless you. Thank you.
Wow, well said, Olamide. This is very mind opening. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for telling us about dreaming boldly, begin simply, and acting immediately. And I'm glad Tolu is here to tell us how to dare. Now we know we should dream. So, but you want to dream, you've actually dreamt, you have all those dreams. You know, it's your responsibility to dream. Now I have dreamt. How do I dare to actually achieve that dream that I have dreamt? Whose job is it to actually dare? Should I make the dream and then expect some other people to dare to achieve those things?
All right, thank you so much, Miss Ibukun. I'm sorry, let me turn on my video. All right. Yeah, good evening from my end. I want to be sure everybody can hear me. Miss Ibukun, can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay,
loud and clear.
let me. All right, thank you so much for confirming that, Mr. Kolawole. Thank you. And you've done a great job. At least it's a point for me to kick off from. Thank you so much. So my name is Tolu Joseph, and I'm an educational psychologist, and I am the author of Dare the Risk. And that is why I'm particularly excited about what Miss Iboko is doing with this program. I think one of the things that we should teach ourselves, our young people, is to cultivate the daring spirit. Because I have realized that if you're not going to be daring, if you're not going to be courageous, then success is going to be very, very hard. Very, very hard. So, um, I'm going to be discussing with us how to dare, or whose job is it to dare, and then how do we now dare. Okay, I am not able to share my slide. I am joining from my phone, but I'm not sure. Maybe that feature is not available on phone. I'm unable to join with my laptop right now because of electricity, but that's fine. Um, so whose job is it today? I would have really, really loved to join with to share my slide. Whose job is it today? Mr. Kolawole has already told us that it is your job. Now, when we talk about literal dream, like we sleep and then we dream, you realize that nobody can dream for you. You yourself actually has the ability to dream. So nobody is going to, Mr. A is not going to dream on my behalf. So in the same way, when we talk about being ambitious, being aspiring to have something, aspiring to get somewhere, to get to a particular destination, you realize that it is actually your own duty to envision that. It is your dream to envision the destination that you wish for yourself. So after dreaming, what do you do? What do you do to actually get there? Now, the title of this program is Dream, Dare, and Do. Dream, Dare, and Do. And I love the order because daring actually comes after you must have dreamt. So it is actually the bridge between dreaming and doing. When you have dreamed, then there is something you should do. There is a spirit that should arise in you. Without that spirit, doing can be very, very difficult. And that is why we want to talk about how to develop the daring spirit. Now, I'm going to say to you again, just as Mr. Kolawole has told you, that the job of daring is actually yours. The responsibility of daring is actually yours. Nobody is going to dare your dream for you. And like Mr. Kolawole closed his session, he said, there is no dream that is too big to have. There is no big dream that is bigger than you. Anybody can actually dream to be anything, to get to anywhere, to achieve anything. And so, no matter how big your dream is, you must have that commensurate courage to actually face it and achieve it. Okay, so now the first thing I have here in my introduction slide says succeeding in life is a function of how much you can dare. Nobody is going to succeed if fear is going to control their life. So, one of the things you need to do first, if you are trying to dare, if you are trying to face the dreams that you have, is to shun fear. If you're not ready to shun fear, then the journey is going to be difficult. Not only will it be difficult, it can be unachievable. So, like I said, daring comes in between dreaming and doing. Because on that journey, there are obstacles. On that journey, there are going to be a lot of things that will pose fear at you. So if you are really going to achieve that thing, you need to have this, how am I going to put this spirit that shuns whatever comes your way, whatever obstacle is coming your way. You have to be able to shun them all and face the journey. So there is to be intentional about taking risk. Now, we're not going to be talking about daring if there are no risks to take. Because the truth is, it is only when there are risks in the picture that is when we talk about daring. Daring is you know, taking up the courage to face something that is capable of harming you, something that is capable of singeing you. Most times, we refuse to dare because we are afraid of being burned. And the truth is, success is not achievable if you're not going to get burned. In most cases, it is not achievable if you are afraid of being burned. So you just have to, you need to have that spirit that will help you to face whatever it is. The journey is not going to be rosy, the journey is not going to be as smooth as you think, especially if your dream is something very big, something unusual, something uncommon. I know I have a very short time, but I would really love to share some stories with us. If your dream is something uncommon, like I said, you may have that mindset of, ah, if I do it, what will people say? If I do it, will people not laugh at me? If I start this thing, will people accept it? Will people take it as something that is worth it? But the truth is, you can never know how people are going to accept your invention or whatever it is you're stepping into if you don't start. So that starting actually needs you to dare. You really need to dare. Success is only possible when intentionality is in the picture. So if you want to dare, you have to be intentional about everything that you do, be it academics, be it your career growth, be it anything, your business, whatever it is you're doing. I understand that I'm speaking to students and young professionals. So in anything you do, in anything you're into, you just have to be intentional. If you're intentional about the dreams that you have, then it is much easier to say you want to dare, to say you want to face anything. And again, I think I need to mention that you need to be emotionally attached to your dream. It is only when you are emotionally attached to your dream, when something binds you to your dream, that is when you can have the willingness to actually dare. If you're not emotionally attached to your dream, it is very easy to actually just take it with levity. It is very easy to actually just say, the dream is just there, and you keep procrastinating, you're not ready to do anything about it. But when you're emotionally attached, you just see yourself, you flow into the daring spirit. The daring spirit comes easily for you. So it is not anybody's responsibility to actually see. The desire to succeed is something we all have. The desire to succeed is something everybody has. But the willingness to actually dare to do the things that are necessary, to take the necessary steps, to shun the obstacles, to actually go and face the obstacles, is what many of us don't have. We are afraid. We love to dream. We love to aspire. We love to, want to be at a very good destination. But we do not have that courage to face whatever it is that we will meet on the way in order to get to that point. And that is something we all need to work on if we must succeed in life. The next thing in my slide, I want to share with us a verse of the Bible, that is Second Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. It is a Bible verse that many of us are familiar with, or many of us would be familiar with. It says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind. I love to use this passage anytime I talk about courage because I apologize. I know this is not a religious program, but this is something every one of us can actually learn from. God has not given us a spirit of fear. If you allow fear to rule your life, trust me, you're not going to be able to achieve anything. You're not going to be able to achieve anything. Once fear is planted in you and you allow it to grow, you won't be able to dare. So you know that daring is your responsibility, but when you allow fear to take charge, you discover that you become powerless when it comes to daring. You become powerless. So always bear in mind that you actually have that courage in you. Our God has not given us a spirit of fear. He has not given us a spirit of timidity. A lot of times, people lose opportunities because they are afraid to come forth, because they are afraid to ask questions. Because there are people, God, sometimes God brings some people our way that will actually help us to rise. Maybe you meet them at a certain program. You actually, maybe you meet them in church, you meet them in school, and God has strategically positioned those people on your path. But the courage that you need to meet them, that courage is something that is your own responsibility. God has done his own part by putting those people on your way. But you now need the courage to approach them. So once you don't have that courage, you see yourself less. You think, I am not worthy to meet this person. I am not worthy to. There are so many opportunities now online for young people, and then you see some young people telling themselves that I don't think I am eligible for this. I don't think I am good for this. I don't think this is for me. That is the spirit of timidity. That is the spirit of fear. That is the spirit that tells you that you're a low person. And that is not that does not exemplify the daring spirit. If you're going to be daring, then you will see any opportunity, especially the ones that are aligned with your goals, the ones that are aligned with your dreams, you will see them as things that you should grab. You will not see yourself low compared to those things. So the Lord has not given us a spirit of fear. Always have that in mind. You have that courage. Activate it. You need to activate the courage that you have in you in order to dare all those obstacles, all those challenges that may be on your path to success. Now, the next thing that I have here in my slide is the distance. I've already mentioned this, that is distance between where you are now and where you are going. The distance between where you are now and where you are going is how much you are able to dare. It is where you are now that you are dreaming. I don't know if you get my point. You are here now, currently, and you are there dreaming. Fine. But the actualization of that dream is still in the future. So the distance between this place that you are now, where you're dreaming, and that place where you're going to have the actualization of your dream is actually how much you can dare. If you're going to see, we have so many examples in the Bible, so many examples. I think that one is Esther in the Bible, who actually had to just she just had to shun whatever was going to happen to her if she approached the king. I know maybe not everybody knows about this story, but it's a story about she asking for the freedom of her people, and then there were principles that she was supposed to follow if she was going to meet the king. But because the sufferings was, I mean, the suffering was too much and it was getting too serious. So she had to just shun whatever was going to happen to her. If the king was going to kill her, she didn't know. But she just moved ahead with courage and went in to meet the king to make a demand. And that actually led to the freedom of her people. So sometimes the fear of what we don't even know actually keep us at a spot. You are afraid to take a step because you don't know what is going to happen. Take the step first. I tell people to take risk. Fine, you may need to think about your risk very well. You may need to, take calculated risk, ensure that it's something that God is leading you into. But as the moment you discover that God is in the picture, God is in the story with you, and is leading you, Do not be afraid to move ahead. Do not be afraid to dare whatever it is. The next thing here is success in life is often a product of bold decisions and intelligent risk. Bold decisions and intelligent risk. I just mentioned that now. That yes, you need to take risk, but you have to also be wise. You have to be intelligent with this risk that you are taking. Success is courage intensive. You know how we say business is capital intensive? Like a business is very, very, there's some businesses that are capital intensive, meaning they take a lot of money. You have to invest a lot of money into them. Success is very courage intensive. If you're going to succeed in life, then you need to have a lot of courage. You need to have a lot of courage because a lot of things will not make sense. There are things that you will want to do, and humanly speaking, when you look at them physically, you just sit down. Even you yourself, you're doubting yourself. You're like, this thing I want to do, does it make sense? But if God is in the picture and He's helping you or telling you that this is something I want you to go ahead and do, please don't think twice about it. Do not think twice about it. You cannot allow fear to keep you at a spot. Success is courage intensive. We have to bear that in mind. Success is courage intensive, and you must shun fear, like I said. Now, what does it mean today? I have said a lot of things about um, dare itself, but what does it mean exactly? Eliminating fear and doubt. You have to take fear out. I've said that over and over again. Shun fear and take away doubt. Is it going to work? Is it going to work? If you keep doubting, you're not going to even take a step. You're not going to make any move. I tell people that if something is going to fail or not, you cannot know by not doing anything. You still have to do something. The second thing is have the audacity to start or invent. Have the audacity to start or invent. The world is waiting for you. The world is waiting for your manifestation. God has deposited a lot in you, and fear will not help you actualize them. Courage will. Fear will not help you actualize those things that God has deposited in you, but courage will. So you need to have that audacity to start. It is very hard. I know. I have um I used to have a priest who would say something. He would say, it is hard, I understand. It is difficult, I understand. But that it is impossible, I do not agree. And that thing sticks with me. Like it's been here all these years. That thing is difficult. It's understandable. It is hard. Understand, but that it is impossible. No, nothing is impossible if you are just going to push a little more. So the next thing here is trampling the thoughts of inadequacies. I already talked about this. Don't look at yourself and think that there are some opportunities that are above you. Some opportunities are better than you. No, you need to activate that high self-esteem. That's another thing that helps you to dare. A high self-esteem. You need to have a high self-esteem. A high self-esteem will will make you understand that there is no opportunity that is prestigious than you. So a scholarship opportunity is out and you're there thinking, I don't think I'm eligible. It's a different thing to think that, oh, maybe the credentials, the documents, you don't have them. That's a different thing, and you're working towards getting them. But it's another thing to have all the credentials, but you just perceive yourself to be somebody who is not worth that kind of scholarship, or who is not worth that kind of grant that people are rushing towards. You just feel, it's some elite people that deserve this kind of opportunity. No, you need to activate that courage to embrace opportunities. Don't see yourself low at all. So trample on that thought of inadequacy. Don't say, oh, I am not adequate. I do not have the ability. I do not have the strength. You do have. It's in you. Activate it. You need to really, really activate it. I have a video in my slide which I would have loved to play, but unfortunately, I am not showing my slide. So let's just move on. But that video, it's about There were three boys on. Maybe somebody here would have seen it. I think I saw it on Instagram or Facebook. I can't recall. So three boys were on stage. They were having a performance. They were dancing, and the boy in the middle, his trousers just went down. you know, and I was expecting that the boy would be shocked and he would stop. He would stop dancing. It was a performance. But guess what? This boy didn't stop. He continued the performance and he was doing the right thing, just the same thing as what the other two boys were doing. The courage of that boy is top notch. That is the kind of courage that I want you to embody. That courage that doesn't feel ashamed of chasing their dreams. That courage that does not feel ashamed of chasing the dreams that you already have. You need to be full of courage that no matter what I face, no matter what the obstacles are, I'm going to continue going. I am going to continue going. Okay. Now, how do you start? I've already talked about this. How do you dare? I've talked about self esteem. Develop a self esteem that makes you feel worthy of opportunities. Have that self esteem that makes you feel worthy of opportunities. Only be mindful of what God thinks of you, not what fear thinks of you. You need to really let this sink. Be mindful of what God thinks of you or thinks about you, not the things that fear tells you that you are only capable of doing. Fear will come and tell you that you can only get to this point. This is your boundary. These are your limitations. Shun fear. Fear is a very terrible spirit to have. Shun it and let courage be your guide. Know God and be intimate with Him. That's something that you cannot negotiate. Know God and be, whether you're a Muslim or you're a Christian watching this, know God and be intimate with Him. All right. Now, daring is your responsibility. Nobody's responsibility. It is not the responsibility of your parents to dare for you because you're the one who knows where you're going. Nobody else knows it. I usually tell people that it is only the vision bearer that can invest the right energy. It is only the vision bearer that can invest the right energy. Do you know why? You're the one who knows where you're going. You're the one who knows how big the vision is. You know what the reward is. You know what the end goal will look like by the time you achieve it. So you are doing everything possible to get there. You're doing everything possible to realize it. Even if there are going to be other people around you who want to support that goal, that vision, they are, the energy they are going to invest in it should not be more than your own, who is the vision bearer. I don't know if that makes sense. So you have the dream, you are the one who aspire to become something. So it is equally your responsibility to dare. Dreams are beautiful, but between having a dream and living it, there is a chasm. Daring is what actually builds that bridge. Okay. Now start now, just like Mr. Kolawole already told us, and reframe failure. Every failure should be your data, should be included in your data. You know what that means? It will help you tell your story better in the future. Don't see failure as doom. It is not. It is not. It forms a part of your story. Surround yourself with daring people. If you surround yourself with people who are always singing failure into your ears, who are always telling you that, oh, don't go there. Oh, if you go there, this, mm-mm. Such people will not help you to grow. All right. Ask, what if I don't question? Ask it. So instead of only fearing failure, always take a step backward and ask yourself, what if I fail? By asking yourself that question, you are able to now project and think of what you can do, even if it fails. Do you understand? Rather than just sitting down and fearing failure. Tie your daring to purpose. There should be something that you're trying to achieve. There should be something that you're trying to do that will impact the world. That's another thing. Your dream should impact the world. I know Mr. Buku is here to tell me that I should round up. And I'm already on the last slide. It's the conclusion. The
I'm
conclusion that I
daring to
have for
tell you to
you
round up.
is
I'm
that
daring.
is that ships are safe in the harbor, but that's not what ships are built for. That's not what they are built for. They are meant to go forward. And so, thank you so much. I hope someone is already thinking about how to dare those big dreams that they have in order to achieve. Thank you, Mrs. Bukun. Thank you, everybody.
Wow. Thank you so, so much. This is really, really very um, mind blowing. Oh, I was going to use another word, but then let's use mind blowing. The distance between where you are going and where you are now is how much you dare. That's really got my attention because from what I gathered from all the things you've said, if I really need to take the next step, I need to dare. If I need to go from point A to point B, I need to dare. Wow. And then success is courage intensive. So just like business is capital intensive, and one thing or the other, you have to input something to get an output. The same thing for success, you have to input courage. Success is courage intensive. So now we know we need an input to get an output. How do we do? Whose job is it to do? And I know that Mary Oshulusi is ready, willing, able, available to to tell us more about how we need to do and whose job is it to do. Welcome, Mary.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me today. My name is Mary Osunlusi, as Miss Ibukun has introduced. I will be sharing my slide, and I'll be up just in a moment. Okay, so I have my presentation slides here, and I will just make sure that everybody can see.
We can see.
Okay, sounds great. So welcome again, everyone. My name is Maria Osunlusi, and I'm super excited to be here today. I appreciate this opportunity. I am a Nigerian trained physiotherapist, and I currently do research in healthcare. And the people who spoke before me, I believe they've done a very good job on, talking about the aspect of today's topic, which is whose job is it to dream, to dare, to do. And Mr. Kolawole has done a very good job talking about dreaming, which is absolutely beautiful. And Ms. Tolu Joseph was also like talked about daring, which is absolutely great. And today I will talk to us about the do part of it. And before I get started, I have this little interactive session I hope people would be able to participate in. And this is, I said I was going to talk about the two, but I do want to hear from the audience first. And so I have on my screen right now a QR code where people can respond to this question. So, like, what comes to your mind when you hear the word job? And briefly, I will switch my screen to the Menti meter so people can see what is there. And I'll just present that quickly. I'm not sure. Are you able to see my screen? The Mentimeter screen. Are you? Okay, I might need to go back to the studio and to reshare my screen. Okay, great. I see that people are responding already. Thank you. So what comes to mind when you hear the word job? I see some words here. Some people have said stress. That sounds interesting. Some people say opportunity. Some people say time. Some people said dedication, service, upskill, growth, employment, income. There's lots of them, and it's quite interesting because definitely, like when we hear the word job, like if someone say this is your job, maybe you're employed to do something. If someone say this is your job, maybe it's something that brings stress for you. If someone say this is your job, you think, okay, I need to be dedicated to this, I need to grow doing this, I need maybe maybe I should even get income for doing this job. Like if my job is to do, then maybe I should get paid for it. Maybe there is some sort of resource that should come from there. And it goes on and on and on. I know I have 15 minutes to talk, so I would not want to take too much of our time during this interactive session. But I really appreciate everyone who have taken time to drop to respond to this. Thank you. So I'm going to switch back to, it's a bit of switching here and there. I apologize. I'm going to switch back to my slides right now. Okay, and I'm back on. I believe everybody can see my slides again. So let's just hold that thought. Some of the responses people gave is opportunity, employment, which I believe it's quite important, and it shows like what we think about when we hear the word job. When people say it is your job to do something, this is your job, it is your job to do this or that. And I would love us to hold that thought, or just hold it somewhere. We're going to come back to it now. I would like to share like a little bit of my story, and it's quite interesting because you wonder like, Mary is a physiotherapist, and why are we saying hex? Why are we saying jury? Why are we saying like a lady sitting on a laptop? And this is just to show you that I am not just coming here to make you aspire today, but to really share a story of what doing has looked like for me, and hopefully you can learn from that. You can be motivated. You can it can change, it can make a difference for you. So I'm just going to take you back to a time when I was a very broke student in the university, and this is not like the fun kind of broke. Like you have to check your balance before you even buy water or like buy toothpaste or something like that. And then like it's quite interesting because I decided to share this start from this story because Miss Ibukun Oguzumi here, she is someone who like was very influential to me as a young person. I've known her for several years, and I remember when I was in my first year in university, she pitched an idea to me, and then she said, "Oh, I'm going to give you like half crate of eggs, and then like you don't have to pay for it. When you have made sales, you can come back and give back the money to me, and then you can continue the business." And somehow that was, I took the idea, and somehow I started selling eggs. And then after I had sold the half crate, I gathered some more money, and I returned the capital to her, and then I continued. And before the end of my first year, everybody on my block, and I went to Obafemi Awolowo University in Nigeria. And if you know, like the first year student hostel, it's like it's for the masses. Like there's so many people there. Like there were over 2,000 people in that hostel. That was Mozambique. And if I counted all of the rooms and the squatters and the floaters and everything, and everybody in that hostel that year knew me as Mary the Egg Seller, and that was because someone pitched an idea to me, and then I decided to I was brave enough to dare, like Tolu Joseph has talked about. And then I actually did. Like I did something. I took the doing part. And this is just like one of my many stories. I am like Jill of many trades, master of some. I have also like dabbled into jewelry business, and like that's something I dreamt about, like dreamt of doing, I dared and I also did. And now why am I sharing all of this story? It's just to see that sometimes doing, like the people before me have mentioned, it starts from like dreaming about something and actually daring, being brave enough to dare and actually doing it, because doing is where things changes. Doing is where like you want to get to after dreaming, after daring. What next for you? What is next for you then is doing. So now I would like to like, just take us through a couple of thoughts, like sometimes doing your job may look like, it may not look as big or bold or nice or fancy as we expect it to be. And like, so what is this thing? Like, what is this thing? Like, what does it even look like sometimes? Sometimes it looks messy. It could be you starting a project and then you don't even know it's if it's going to work. It might feel slow, it might feel scary, it might feel uncertain. I have so many stories, but like I'm just going to share a few just so that we can relate, because I love to share personal stories so that people know that these things are possible. Coming here to Canada to start my graduate study, it all started from me dreaming about becoming a professor someday. And then I decided that, okay, I'm going to need to do my master's to get to this stage. Now, I could not even afford to sponsor myself to school abroad. And then I started looking for opportunities. Now, at that point, my dream has transformed into something else. I started daring, even though I knew that I could not afford to pay tuition abroad, right? And then I started daring. I was brave enough to go online to search what opportunities are there, to talk to people, to ask questions. And then like, what do people really do? Like, is it only the rich that go abroad to school and all of that? And I started discovering that there might be opportunity for me. And that was where like the doing part came for me, to do something, to search online, to reach out to people, to reach out to several professors before I finally found an advisor that was willing to offer me funding and I was also willing to take me. And then like it just goes on and on. And the thing about that process was that it wasn't exactly as smooth as I thought it would be, but regardless, I did. And then like it was slow, it was scary, it was uncertain when I waited to hear back from the admissions committee. Like when I even was waiting to hear back from the immigration office, about my study visa, like all of that process, it wasn't glamorous, it wasn't fun. But then the thing that I would like to bring out to us is that even though like doing your job may look like this, it could also look another way. There's also something else that you're doing your job can look like. And I would like to explore that in a few minutes. So like it's tempting to want to wait for everything to be perfect before you start something. It's tempting to want to have all the resources you have before you start something. I would tell you today from my experience, don't wait until everything is perfect, because like the perfect time may actually never come. And often clarity comes after you've started something. If I want to start a business, for instance, and I haven't even like started researching about it, and I'm just in that phase of dreaming, and even though I'm like, oh, I'm daring to do this, I'm talking about it, I'm feeling brave, but then I haven't actually started doing something. I haven't picked up my phone to maybe reach out to people who have done it before, or maybe I haven't picked up my phone to do research. I haven't like go online to surf the internet. I haven't gone on YouTube to ask important questions. Then the kind of questions sometimes I might not like, it's hard to know what questions you should ask even when you've not started. Say you wanted to start a business, for instance, and then you haven't even started anything, and then you haven't like done any research. Some questions will not come to you like it would someone who has already started. So doing is what creates momentum. And when I say like doing, sometimes it feels scary, it feels uncertain, and like it doesn't mean you have to do it alone. It doesn't mean you have to do it alone. Doing can look quite different from sometimes what we envisage. If we go back to the Mentimeter that we had, some people said when they think about like doing your job, like the idea of job, it's they think about stress, they think about like service, they think about dedication, they think about different things. So like all of those things, I see some trends in like those comments, and it's shows that we as humans, we are very individualistic, and it's we have the tendency to want to do everything by ourselves, to want to tackle everything, to want to like take on the responsibility. It is my job, especially when people say it is your job to do this thing, then like then you have to do it alone, then you have to figure it out by yourself, then it's your responsibility to want to do everything. While doing it yourself is very important, like that is something like nobody should take away from you. Like you have to own your own growth, you have to start, you have to you know begin from somewhere. And like it's your responsibility to begin, it's your responsibility to take your dream from the dream stage to the dare stage, and eventually bring it to the do stage. That is your responsibility. But also doing something can very look very much like doing it with others. Like where do others come in? It comes in when you collaborate with others, when you leverage on the community you have, when you learn from others, when you ask questions. And then like growing to the stage of actually letting some people like take up some task for you, like trusting people to help you, empowering yourself through the help of others, through people that have gone through something, and actually asking them for help as you try to do this your job. So like as you try to do your job, like what are you doing to make things like a bit easy for you? Like it's leveraging on the community you have, building community around yourself, learning together with people. As you share with them, you also gain from them. And at some point you would also have to like to because I believe that to scale you also have to like be able to trust people with something, to delegate tasks, to empowering. And even when you're delegating, you're still like very much doing. So like it's very important to understand that doing something, like doing taking your dream from the dream death to from the dream stage to the death stage to the doing stage does not have to be you alone. It is definitely your responsibility to take charge. But then I see some comments on LinkedIn here. Someone said the sound of it is your job sounds heavy. Definitely, it sounds heavy. We can easily feel overwhelmed, but we also have to recognize that having community, it's like you level up quickly, you scale up quickly, and it even makes like doing a lot easier on you. Of course, like doing is never easy. Like it's never just easy to do. Oh yeah, like you I'm just gonna do it. I know Nike's what's it called, like their tagline or their motto says like, oh, just do it. It's so easy. It's like it's easier said than done. But like it's very important to understand that it is okay, like it is all right to ask for help, to leverage on community. But then that comes after you have actually taken charge, own your own growth, actually take charge of your own. And like basically some of the things that I've already started to talk about is like it's very important to start, like to start where you are, start with what you have, with the resources you have. Don't wait for everything to be in place, because it might never be. When I was applying for grad school, I did not even have money to like do a whole lot of other things, but I knew that I needed an international passport. So I invested in that first. So like I know that, oh, I needed to pay my admissions fee. Then I did that. I needed to reach out people. I would buy data. Then I needed to do this. And then when the time came for me that then I needed more help, like with bigger things, with other things, I reached out to people. Okay, so this is what I have done, and this is how far what I've been able to get. I've been able to secure some funding, but I still need help in this area. Then it was easy for people to come to my help. Why? Because I have started. So there's this Yoruba saying that I know, like we have different audience here, and it goes like this: "Ọmọ tó bá ṣípá ni àgbàlagbà ń gbé." And like the translation, or should I say the literal translation, is that is it's easier to carry a child with an outstretched arm. So like if a child like stretches out their arm, those cute babies, it's very easy for you to just grab on them like, yeah, this child definitely wants me to carry him or her, or like this baby wants me to carry them. And then like it's easier to, pick up that kind of baby. Aside from like a baby who is like crying and like trying pulling away from you, you don't want to force yourself on the baby, right? So like it's important to start like from where you are with what you have, and do not wait for everything to be in place. It might never happen. And then like even when you start doing, what if there is no community? What if like you don't really have people to pull you through? What if you don't even have like as much help as you thought you would get? You still have to keep pushing, like you have to keep doing. And like it's very easy for the excitement of our dreams, our big dreams, and even like that surge of energy, that sudden burst of energy that comes with daring. Oh, yes, I'm going to do it. You're feeling brave, you're feeling courageous. It's very easy to get to that stage where, the excitement fades and like things get hard. And like that's when doing matters the most. And that's where growth lives. Like you have to be able to get to that point where you're able to move from the point where you have started doing to keep doing. And then like my last point basically here is to never stop doing, because at this stage like doing them becomes a part of your identity. You stop asking can I, it becomes like yes, I will do this, I can do this. And that's when you level up. And I know like I've said a lot of things, and I just like hope it comes together, because like your future, your dream, everything, that is your job. Like that is your job. The difference between people who succeed and the people who do not is not just like about dreaming. Everybody can dream and some people can dare, but then it's the ones who do who succeed eventually. So like you have to remember that it is your job to do, but then it's also okay to leverage on others people's help to get along, to get ahead. So like just before I go, I would like us to just think about this. Dreaming is beautiful, daring is brave, but doing is what changes everything. So it's very important for you to do. That's doing is your job. Okay, thank you so much for listening to me. I will hang my boots here.
Wow. Your future, your dream, that's your job. I like that.
Yes.
And then someone shared something about it's your dream. It's not just a dream, it's your
Mhm.
responsibility. So you've actually told us how to make it our responsibility and how to carry out those tasks that we are expected to carry out. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Thank you for giving us practical stories about how you did and how it has moved you from one point to another. So, thank you to all our speakers. If there are any final thoughts you would like to share with us, here is the time to share with us. And we have some questions, which I believe we'll move on to the next edition, hopefully. So, we would ask our audience to bear with us, and then your questions will be moved to the next edition, so we don't go beyond the time frame we have said we are going to spend. So thank you so much for joining this edition of Dream Dear Do. And then I got a comment from one of the audience that I would like to share with us. It says, we are no longer where we used to be because we dream, because we dare, and because we do. We invite you today to dream, to dare, and to do. Start where you are. Start with what you have right now, today. You can follow us on Instagram, on Threads. The handle is at underscore dear students, and the program is Dream Dear Do. If you would like to also be a part, a speaker, or you would like to also be a part of this event, you can reach out to the Instagram page at underscore dear students, and tell us how you can get involved. We can also share with you how you can get involved. Thank you so much for joining this edition of Dream Jeju. And special thanks to our speakers, our wonderful speakers. Thank you so much. We can thank you enough. And we hope you will continue to dream, you will continue to dare, and you will continue to do. Because now we know it's our responsibility, because it's not just a dream, it is a responsibility. Thank you, everyone, and have a good rest of your day.